My name is Black, I'm really fat. I'm addicted to cholesterol, I treat it like crack. After school I gotta get a Big Mac, or some pudding packs, or a jumbo jack. Fuck one patty, bitch I need a stack. I need my burger patties looking like some flapjacks. Man, I stay in Costco, I gotta get my snacks. Outback Steakhouse, ribs by the rack. Big like Shaq, in a different way though. Stay away from tracks, I gotta keep my weight on. If I start running, catch an asthma attack. Teeth still clean, not a fan of the flack. On the dollar menu, going ham on these burgers. Ketchup, mustard, chili, bacon, I'm a frankfurters. Bakersfield fraud, bitch, I'm a chicken herder. I'm getting too wide, so I'ma need a girder.
Alright, so here I got a new team that I'm trying to build right now. Basically, I wanted to use the Swords Dance Garchomp. And yeah, Swords Dance Garchomp. I got Terrakion, obviously. And some dude said I hadn't used Skarmory in a while, so I was like, fuck it, I'll use Skarmory because Skarmory's pretty cool. And then I added Genesect because standard Scarf Genesect with U-turn is pretty good. And then I added a Heatran because I didn't want to use Weather on this team, simply because I've been using Weather teams for the past 23 years, LOL. But yeah, I just threw on a Heatran for some teams and some Stealth Rocks and stuff. And then I had a Fighting weakness and a Water weakness. Well, not really a Water weakness, but I didn't have enough shit to take some Hydro Pumps, so I added a Jellicent, and that's how I put this shit together. It's probably not very good, but what do you expect from me? So the other dude's using some standard sand shit. I really don't mind. He's got pretty much a basically standard team, although it looks like Garchomp won't be able to do too much to his team because he does have Latias, which will outspeed. He's got that Stoutland should probably has Ice Fang, and then Mamoswine, which will Ice Shard the fuck out of me, and Hippowdon and Rotom to burn me. So yeah, Garchomp's not gonna really be too useful in this battle, but let's see how it goes. So I decided to lead off with my Jellicent because I figured he probably wouldn't lead with Rotom for some reason, which probably wasn't the smartest lead in the world since Rotom is probably would have been the best lead for him, but he doesn't lead with Rotom. He actually ends up leading off with his Hippowdon, so that's pretty good for me. I could either Scald, try to get off some damage and a burn, or he could switch to Rotom, and then I probably won't get the burn. So since I do have a horse on this team, I'm gonna want some residual damage on that bitch, so I ended up going for the burn twice actually. The second time I was predicting him to go into Rotom, so that didn't really work out. So he ruins me out into Skarmory. I really don't care. That gives me a free opportunity to set up spikes. He's not really going to be able to do too much to me. Worst case scenario, he rolls me out into my Terrakion, and then I'll have to switch back into Skarmory because Hippowdon can't really touch me too much. So he brings in Rotom. Here I have a few choices. I could either stay in, predicting the nothing actually. I needed to switch, but I was predicting the Volt Switch, ended up going to Garchomp, and like you saw there, he either predicted my switch or something, but he went for the Will-O-Wisp, and I don't really care because I do have the Lumberry. So now I'm going to go for the substitute. Thankfully, he does go indeed for the second Will-O-Wisp, so this is going to allow me to set up a Swords Dance and proceed to kill either his Rotom or something else if he decides to switch to it. He does have his Hippowdon, which will be able to take a few hits, but at this point he's pretty much forced to stay in here because he needs to break my sub. So I'm gonna go for a Dragon Claw. It doesn't do enough, but I knew I could live at least one hit unless he's carrying like HP Ice or something. I was also thinking about like sub stalling. Hopefully he'll miss a Hydro Pump or two, but I decided against it because it's probably gonna be a waste of time since pretty much every single time I do that they never miss. So I was like, fuck it, we'll just take a hit hopefully. So now you're gonna go into this Mamoswine. I could go into Skarmory to wall the other fuck out of it. The utter fuck, not the other fuck. But I decided I might as well go into Genesect just to keep up my offensive pressure on this bitch because you know how I do it. I like to be offensive. So he's gonna U-turn out. I mean, I'm gonna U-turn out. He's gonna go into this what's it called? Hippowdon. I almost said Donphan for some reason, but since he did that, I'm going to go into my Jellicent here and fire off a Scout. Should be able to do quite a bit of damage after the burn. Might kill, might not kill, depends what kind of spread he's running. If he's running any special defense investment, it's probably not going to kill. But I actually end up getting a crit. So sucks for him, but then again, he really wasn't going to be able to do too much to me unless he carried the Toxic for some reason. But that is going to allow him to go into Magnezone. I could go into my Terrakion, but I mean not my Terrakion, Garchomp, unless Garchomp died or something. No, I still have Garchomp at this point, but I figured he might go for Substitute or some shit, so I ended up going into Heatran as he goes for the Volt Switch, which I thought was pretty dumb since I could have easily gone into Garchomp, and since I didn't see any leftovers or anything, I'm pretty sure the Magnezone scarfed. So here I kind of make another stupid play. I stayed in here assuming that I would outspeed, but I guess this Mamoswine is jolly, so yeah, I could have easily gone into Skarmory, walled the shit out of it, but again, I wanted to keep some offensive pressure on him, so I decided I might as well go for the Lava Plume on him. So as you saw there, I ended up roaring because I knew he wasn't going to stay in here, and now I'm pretty sure he's going to stay in here, but I was like, man, I might as well roar. There's only like a 1 in 4 chance he'll go out to Magnezone, and that is exactly what happened. So kind of not the best luck in the world, but that's what I get for playing stupid. So now he's gonna go for the Volt Switch. I really don't have any options. I went for Spikes actually, just in case I managed to live a hit, which is not the case. So now he's gonna go into this Latias. Kind of good because Latias is kind of keeping my horse from destroying everything in sight. So what I'm gonna do now is go into Genesect. I am scarfed. I'm gonna go for the U-turn, and he's gonna go into Magnezone. So it's pretty much the only thing on his team that wants to take a U-turn on at this point. So now what I'm going to do here, go into Garchomp to bait him to go for the Flash Cannon. So I'm going to double switch out, right back out into my Jellicent. Hopefully he doesn't predict that and go for the Volt Switch. But I think it was a little too risky for him to do that. So he actually does end up going for the Flash Cannon, which is exactly what I planned. So now he's going to be forced to switch. I believe I go for the burn. Actually, I don't. I predict him to go straight into his Latias. So I'm going to make yet another switch. So a few switches going on there. And pretty much Genesect is going to come in here and U-turn out because that's what Genesect does. That's pretty much the only reason I put him on this team because, yeah. So he doesn't have shit to take a U-turn, so he's going to go out to his Magnezone, trying to take another one, but due to all the Spikes damage, he will be unable to. Now I'm going to go into my horse. I could maybe live a hit if he's an offensive variant, but I think I haven't seen leftovers, so I'm thinking he might be Specs or maybe Life Orb or some shit, so I'm going to go into Garchomp as fodder. He really wasn't going to be doing shit because he still has Mamoswine around, so that's going to allow me to go once again into my Genesect and once again go straight for the U-turn. He really doesn't have anything to take it. I think that's like the 9th time I say that, but Mamoswine, after the Spikes damage, is going to be unable to take the U-turn. So he really didn't even need Mamoswine at that point anymore since I had already foddered off my Garchomp. So actually, if he would have, if he might have saved it, due to all the Stealth Rock damage I'm taking with my Genesect, he would have been able to revenge kill me with the Ice Shard maybe. But yeah, it's not up to me. He ended up sacking his Mamoswine. So he's going to stay in here with this dog, and I'm going to go for a burn as he goes for a pursuit. I barely live it, and I managed to get off a burn at it on him, which pretty much seals the deal for me since the dog is burned, even if he is choice banded. He will be unable to take my horse out. So I'm going to bring in horse, go straight for the fucking Stone Edge. He goes to Latias. It doesn't really matter what he did at that point. I had the game in the bag no matter what he did. If he stayed in, try to kill my horse with something, it wasn't going to kill, first of all, because he's burned. And Stone Edge, assuming it hit, would have easily destroyed him. And if he did that, go into Latias like he did end up doing, I'm going to kill it. Then go in a Genesect, fodder some shit out, then I could go in a horse, and since he is burned and more than likely choice banded based off that damage, due to the -1, he's gonna need a super crit. Well, not really a super crit, he's gonna need a crit, but he doesn't get it because yeah, it's a horse and horse will survive. So comment, rate, all that shit. I'm out.